Hey family, my name is Chris. I am your home gamer dad, and today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. I'm going to jump into the world of basically backer-funded games, Kickstarter, GameFound, things along that ways, and I'm going to talk about why I backed the project Terraforming Mars, the dice game. I haven't played much of the original Terraforming Mars, maybe like once or twice at someone else's house. I don't have it in my collection. I do have Ares Expedition though, which is basically Terraforming Mars, the card game, but there's cards in the original. I don't know. It's really weird like that. I started with Ares Expedition just based off of all the videos I watched and things along that ways, and the fact that it had a solo mode. I think original Terraforming Mars has a solo mode, but I really enjoy Ares Expedition, and I did back the when it came out for the expansions not too long ago on Kickstarter. As far as Kickstarter goes, I've only backed 20 games within the past 5 years. So I figured this would be a cool one to talk about because there's actually going to be a lot of games coming out that I want to talk about as well, about why I backed them. And this is a good one to start with. So let's just jump right over to the page itself and go on down through it, and I'll let you know what I think of it. You got enough room there? You good? You all right? All right, he's good. He's good. All right, so there you go. There's the Kickstarter page right now. It's at, let's see, 13 days to go as of the time when I recorded this, so it's definitely less right now. 5,100 backers and over $204,000 made for it so far. Why don't we go ahead and watch the video, and we'll go from there.
It'll
just because,
be
right?
Risky. The resources are out there. We just need to find them. I guess you're right. I'm always right.
Good old Mars.
Okay.
Always portions of it to terraform.
Terraforming Mars, the dice game, is a fast-paced engine-building game for 1 to 4 players, where you undergo new projects for your terraforming corporation. Your goal? To terraform the planet by growing greenery, building cities, and expanding oceans, and even increasing the oxygen levels and temperature of the planet. The new resource dice introduce an element of random chance. With each roll of the die, you have the chance to acquire common, uncommon, or rare resources. On each of your turns, you can manipulate the dice you've rolled, spend resources to build projects, or take actions that will strengthen your infrastructure. Each turn, you come closer to achieving milestones and earning end-of-game awards that match the resources you utilize. Place cities, greenery, and special tiles strategically on the board to help life flourish and gain powerful rewards. As you progress through the game, gain access to bonus cards to further your advantage. Featuring all new components, including the game board, tile components, 60 custom dice, and over 150 cards with original artwork from the beloved Terraforming Mars. When 2 of the 3 terraforming metrics have been completed, the player with the highest terraforming rating wins. Bend the odds, gather your resources, build a sustainable infrastructure, and make Mars habitable by backing Terraforming Mars, the dice game, today.
And of course, I've already backed it already. I wonder how many of you have out there backed this already as well. Before I even get into my opinion, I would like to know what yours is off the hop as well. Do you like this game? Do you think it's cool? Did you back it? Are you going to skip it? Are you going to wait for it to become retail? Because I'm telling you right now, this is going to go to retail. Ares Expedition went to retail. You can actually probably find the original Terraforming Mars in basic retail as well. That would be something other than maybe like a Target or something like that, other than a friendly local game store. Or in addition to a friendly local game store. Always support your friendly local game store, flat out. Why did I back this project? It's only been live for about 4 or 5 days now, and I backed it pretty quickly, mainly because of the word dice. I love dice chucking games, and that's exactly what this is. As you saw in the video, you're rolling dice in order to gain various resources in order to make your productions very Terraforming Mars-like. You know, that's it's funny how we're now getting this Terraforming Mars universe going. We have the base game, we have the Ares Expedition, we have the dice game. The Roll and Write's probably going to come out at some point. You're going to get the Terraforming Mars RPG. Let's get a minis game. You know, it's just going to be so much Terraforming Mars out there. It's insane. As far as backing it goes, you know, $35. Great price, absolutely amazing price for the game, right off, you know, being new and everything. You know, you're probably going to be able to find that price at some point in retail, but it's going to take quite a while. So if you really don't care about this game and you'd rather just pick it up later, you know, you'll be able to regardless. Keep in mind, this does not include shipping. You add the shipping to it, it's back to its normal value. At least if you're in the United States, it's different, and depending where you are in the world. Solo mode, yeah, that's a big plus for me right there. I got 2 thumbs right up there for having a solo mode. I watched a solo mode recently of this game, and I really liked it. Easy setup to teach, that I agree with. Includes corporate era expansion. So you're already getting an expansion with the game straight off the bat when you purchase it through here. Let's see, the beautiful dice, 5 different types of dice in this game, each representing a resource that you've seen in Terraforming Mars before, if you're familiar with the game. The basic way the dice have the symbols on them, you have a common resource, which appears 3 times, an uncommon, which appears 2, and then a rare, which only appears once. Just for example, the green die has 3 leaves, 2 bacteria, and 1 little animal print, and you would use, you'd roll the dice, and whatever it shows is the resource you have to make whatever it is you, go ahead and, want to put down and whatnot. So, of course, with typical Kickstarters, especially with board games and everything, you're going to have some of the more popular channels and influencers, whatnot, giving their opinions on the game. They were sent early copies, so this way they can play it and understand it and be able to give their opinions. Obviously, that's not me with the measly amount of subscribers I have. Please subscribe to the Home Gamer Dad channel in order to build up our family even more. But Rado, of course, has it. I liked his final thoughts on it. I actually agreed with him as he was going through it. He has an awesome single-player playthrough of it, which I would recommend you watching. He does mess up a little bit, but of course, click on subtitles, as he says, in order to change the rules. Plus, future Rado jumps in to talk about past Rado and explain why things were different and everything. But it was still really cool to watch other live playthroughs that are available. And of course, we get down to how to play. So again, if you watch one of the playthroughs, it's going to work simply as this. On your turn, you have one of 2 options. First option is to produce, production turn. It's Terraforming Mars. You're going to have to produce whatever it is that you've made on your planet so far in order to be able to do more things. This is an engine builder. The more things you have out on the field, the better you're going to have whenever you produce new stuff, get new dice, or build new cards that have discounts for them, things along that ways. And simply that you draw your dice that you're able to produce, you roll them, you draw a bunch of new cards so you can have more things to play, and any blue cards untap or unexhaust, or I don't even know what they call it in this one. And that's pretty much it. It's basically, all right, take a breather, produce, get ourselves back up to full. That's your production turn. If you don't produce, then you take your action turn, in which case you get 1 support and 1 main action. There are 2 different sets of actions you can take. Keep in mind, in the main actions, you can take a second support action. So technically on this turn, you can take 2 supports or 1 support and 1 main. It's your choice. And the support actions are kind of listed here where you can flip certain cards if they say support only. You can just take any random dice and roll it in order to hope to get the resource you need. You can exchange 1 dice to make a dice anything you want. You can also exchange 1 dice to give you 2 cards in order to keep building up your hand. There's so many different ways that you can kind of keep the game flowing and keep your resources rolling in order to be able to get the most points and everything. And then, of course, the main phase is where you play your cards, or main action is where you play your cards. You can then spend your dice also if you wish to raise the temperature, which is over here, I'm sorry, raise the temperature, raise the oxygen, put down forests, put down oceans. City tiles are only placed based off of the cards you play. And, you're terraforming Mars. You're making it a livable habitat for people. And that's exactly what it is. I think what I really like about this game is its simplicity. I played Ares Expedition with my sister and my wife, and it took both of them quite a while, including myself when I first played it. Like, now I can play it, it's no problem, but I played it a lot. First time players sitting down and playing Ares Expedition, which is technically stepped down or so in complexity compared to the original Terraforming Mars, still took them quite a bit of the game to get a flow going, to understand what it is that they were doing, what it is they were trying to achieve, the symbolism on the cards, things along that ways. With this game, with the dice game, it's very simple. You see how much the card costs, you see what it does, that's it. There are things that Rado had mentioned in his final view, and a lot of people also mentioned, I saw in reviews, where certain cards from Terraforming Mars, the game, and Terraforming Mars Ares Expedition have requirements to them. Like, your oxygen needs to be at a certain level for you to play it, or the temperature has to be between a certain thing, or it has to be a certain number of oceans on there. But if there's too many, you can't play. Like, there was a lot of different factors like that in the game that prohibited people from playing cards at certain times. And yes, there's a puzzle aspect to that. And I do enjoy that, because you have to kind of work through your hand to figure out when you're going to play something, when you're not going to play something, what's a good time to do it, when it's not. And that's all for the base game and for the Ares Expedition. The dice game, very simple. You can play cards at any time. Doesn't matter when, what the different scales are at or anything like that. You can just play a card to play it. And that's awesome. That makes it so much simpler and so much more user-friendly, at least in my opinion, especially for people that take a little longer to jump into a new game as opposed to someone who's been playing games forever that kind of has like their brain is wired in order to understand these weird complexities right off the hop. Anyway, moving on here. Let's keep going down, talking about the end of game. There's a lot of really cool ways you can score points in this. This is a very high scoring game, I think. I don't remember what it was for Terraforming Mars, the original, but I know in Ares Expedition, you get some pretty high scores going and everything, but I want to say like 100 is a really good score in that. Here, it's like, if you get 80, you're doing okay. There's so many different ways to score points in this, and especially on solo mode and everything. And it's just cool watching it, how fast it moves when you watch other people play. Like, the turns really do go very fast because everything is simple. You roll the dice your first turn. It's not like you're rolling a lot of dice every turn and reassessing. You roll the dice once, you have what it is, and then on your turn you roll one, maybe a second dice if you take 2 support actions, and that's it. You do your 2 actions, next person. Do their 2 actions, next person. So it moves fast. I'm watching a 4-player version of this game, and if I look away for even like a minute or so, so many turns have passed and people have done so many things. Now, this is an independent style game, so you are working on your own. Everyone has the same board that they run through. So, you're, let's go back up to the board. Where are you? Here you are. No, up. Is there a good picture of the board? Anything? There's got to be, you know what it is? It's probably in the what's in the box. Here we go. Okay, and I'm going to go over this too. Everybody has their tokens here in the beginning of the board, and you watch them as they go around, and then as people do different things, like other people will be raising the temperature, you may be raising the oxygen, people will be putting things down, and it's kind of a race in that way to try to get as many stuff as you can, because in this game, as you terraform Mars, no matter what it is you're doing, you're earning different things. You place down a forest tile on, say, this spot right here, you earn 2 gray dice, which you can then immediately roll and have ready for your next turn to do something. Raising the temperature gives you more heat. Oh, you're all the way up here, you get some oxygen. I'm sorry, water. You're raising up the oxygen to gain more oxygen or heat, things like that. So it's really cool where all of the different bonuses are that are laid out on the map. And that's where the strategy comes in, because if you're laying a tile down and you're covering up certain areas, you gain those bonuses, and it just kind of goes into your overall pool. Now, as far as what's in the box, 60 dice. Holy jeez, that's a lot of dice. 12 of each style of dice. So you are never going to be without dice, my friends, ever. Game board, ton of project cards, because that's what Terraforming Mars is. And I like the fact that these are all new original artwork. So anything you see here is going to be different than what you've seen in previous Terraforming Mars games. Of course, your corporation cards, each of them have a different starting ability, so it sets you apart from the person you're playing against. Bonus cards are new. These are things that you get at certain intervals during the game. You don't have to pay for them. You just get them, and they help you, which is awesome. Various tiles to put down. The wild resource is a rare resource you get in the game that can be any dice at all, but once you use it, you lose it. You have to find other ways to earn them back, and that's very hard to do. Milestone tiles, this way your game is always different. You choose 3 of these 11 every game in order to see what's something good that you can work towards to get those points. No idea what these clear cubes are for, but I'm sure it's something awesome. 4-player markers, of course, and the rule book. So that's actually quite a bit in this box. It's probably about as big as the Ares Expedition box. And then, of course, as you go through the campaign itself, new things are unlocked. So this is another bonus for backing the Kickstarter as opposed to waiting for it to come out on retail. You have all of these promo cards that, yes, you'll be able to buy them later. Thing with Kickstarters, do not lock exclusive Kickstarter things behind an exclusivity wall. Oh, you missed a Kickstarter? You don't get it. If I missed a Kickstarter and I can buy them later, that's fine. That's fair. I understand that. I made it to the Kickstarter, so I get these for free now as they unlock throughout the course of the days. That's also great. Very happy with that. But if there was absolutely no way for people to get these at all, that is a no-no. Do not do that. I'm totally against all that stuff. Stupid alligator. Yeah, this is the playthrough I'm watching right now, the 4-player playthrough, pretty cool. And of course, if you want to add on any of the sleeves for the very unique size of some of these cards, by all means, you can do that. I'm not sleeving this because I don't play it nearly as much. And then, of course, the sad parts are shipping. Yes, it's $35. I'm paying $15 to ship it here to the US, so it's $50 regardless. And as you can see in other places, it gets really high. So if the appeal of the promos and just the game itself does not really tickle your fancy and you can wait for it, I'm sure you'll be able to find it somewhere on retail, but it's going to take a while. I mean, Ares Expedition took a while for that, I believe, to come out to retail, maybe like a year or so after it was released. So you may be waiting a bit for that to happen. Otherwise, I'm very excited for this. I'll be watching it every day as the promo cards go through. 4 have been unlocked so far. And now that I know the game, I can read these promo cards and I can understand what it is that they do and what they bring to the game. And there you have it. Terraforming Mars, the dice game. The next game in the lineup of the apparently expanding Terraforming Mars universe. A much simpler game for someone to get into. I believe I heard the word gateway game come up quite a bit whenever I saw reviews for this. And I'm going to be very excited in order to get it because 1, it's a dice game. 2, it's very quick. It plays in like 45 minutes. Where's that? There's 1 to 4 play. Yeah, 1 to 4 players. 45 minutes. Are you kidding? A Terraforming Mars game plays in 45 minutes. Stop it. That's amazing. And then hopefully I can teach my wife this one and she'll enjoy this more. She'll probably enjoy this more than Terraforming Mars Ares Expedition, but I have to convince her of it because she didn't really like Ares Expedition much at all. So we'll see how she does with this one. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me as I went through the Kickstarter for Terraforming Mars, the dice game. There are a lot of games coming out over the next few weeks, and there are going to be few that I do back. I will be doing these videos on games that I ultimately do go ahead and show my support for. And I will let you know why I do that and what exactly it brings to my table and why I am looking forward to it. Let me know your opinions down in the comment section below. Are you excited for the dice game? Do you think that Terraforming Mars will have more styles of games coming out in the future? Almost a guarantee, but what it is, maybe what you're looking for. Are you going to back this? Did you back this? Or are you just going to wait for it to hit retail and get it when it's down on clearance? Which is all fine too, because regardless of anything, if you do that, you're still supporting the series, and that just means more things will be coming out for it. So, until next time, everyone, take care of yourselves and each other. We are family forever, rolling dice and gaming together. You guys have a good one, and I'll see you in the next one. Later.